This broadcast is part of the IC Robots radio network. Visit icrobots.com for this and many other nerd/nostalgia-related podcasts. You won't be sorry for long.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire.
I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Welcome to the Toys R Us Report, recorded live from inside the Patron Cellular Undersea Base 0001, 6.5 miles below the ocean surface. Soon as the beat is felt, he's ready to go, so fasten your seatbelt, cause he's about to flow. He's your host, IC Robots.
If you're looking for me, you better check under the sea. It is your dude, IC Robots, and I am not a hero, but I do sacrifice a bit of my week each and every week to make your week a bit less week. And this week, it is going to get so much less week. We're going to talk movies. We got A.B Silver waiting for us on the line right now. But before we get to that, we got a brand new song by our dude, DJ Iceberg 13. Let me find it here on the drive. Hit it!
Some mozzarella, I was like...
You're a cheese guy.
I was like a little extra cheese, but, that's just me. And then we're just going to put down some... I'm using a little chorizo.
Whatever.
All right, now I need to let it melt, because I don't want to burn my pizza. I just want to melt that cheese. Melt that cheese. Melt that cheese. We're just going to let it melt, because I don't want to burn my pizza. I just want to melt that cheese.
You are listening to the Toys R Us Report. Rock and roll could never hip-hop like this.
I'm using a little chorizo.
Hey, it's me, IC Robots. That was a masterwork from our dude, DJ Iceberg 13, a jam called Melt That Cheese. I myself, I love an infomercial. I don't know, there's something about seeing these wacky products pitched by these wacky dudes. So that one pulls at the heartstrings. DJ Iceberg, thank you for that. We are lucky enough to have Hollywood mover and shaker A.B Silver on the line right now as we speak. Hopefully, he is going to hip us to what is going on with his good pal Johnny Five's brand new TV project. Let me find the setting here. Okay, let's A.B Silver, how's it going?
Hold for A.B Silver. Projected time 12 minutes.
I thought we had him on the line here. I don't know if we can afford to hold 12 minutes. Let's just I'll talk about something I've had in my mind for a little while, and we'll hope that he gets on the line. I was at the flea market the other week, and I was like flipping through vinyls and stuff. I like a nice record. I am not what you would call like a hardcore vinyl collector or anything, but I do have some LPs. I like to listen to them when I'm like doing stuff around the house. I don't know. Sometimes you can get them for like $1 or $2 at the flea market, and they have music on them. You can listen to them. You don't only have to listen to CDs. There are many other things that have music on them. So I was like flipping through this guy's vinyl, and I came upon the Cars Greatest Hits. I kind of slept on the Cars and music of that sort back in the day. I was like heavily into hip hop, and all I was listening to was hip hop. It felt like it would be an affront to everything that I stood for to listen to anything that did not have a drum loop on it. Like a sample drum loop or a drum machine loop. I was like hip hop 1000%. So groups like the Cars and all these things, they're barely known to me. In a lot of ways. I know things that they play on oldies radio, and I know stuff like that, but there's like this whole kind of era of music that is in between oldies radio and in between like what they play on like current radio. And sort of, if you weren't around for it, if you weren't like watching all the MTV stuff aside from Yo MTV Raps, you're not gonna know. And the Cars is one of these groups that like, I know the singles, I know some of the songs, but I don't know a ton about them. And I'll say this, I used to have, like, this weird phobia about Adam's apples, and Rick Ocasek has a very pronounced Adam's apple.
Continue to hold, please. Projected time 10 minutes.
And projected time 10 minutes, at least we're moving along. So, as I was saying, Rick Ocasek, the lead singer of the Cars, they had a really pronounced Adam's apple. I would get skeeved out. Do you remember that Popeye cartoon where they had like Popeye trapped and they were going to drop this like heavy weight on his Adam's apple? They called it like an Atom Smasher or something like that, an Atom Smasher. I don't remember, but they threatened to crush his Adam's apple. And ever since I saw that, I've been like really weirded out by how Adam's apples look. And when I would see Rick Ocasek with that long neck and that bobbing Adam's apple, I would get all grossed out. But I got this record and I played it the other afternoon when I was mopping the floor, and I thought it was really good. I guess I would say that I like the Cars quite a bit.
Please stay on the line. Projected time 15 minutes.
Did she say 15 minutes? The time is going up. I've been playing that Cars record a lot, but it's also got me thinking about Popeye. I wonder if we are, and when I say we are, I mean people around my age, like the 30s and 40s. Do you think that we may be the last generation that has any sort of Popeye things? There was, of course, that Popeye movie back in the 80s, and when we were kids, they would still play like those Popeye shorts on like cartoon blocks and stuff. But when I brought Popeye up to 2.0, who's like a high school kid, she had heard of the name Popeye and she knew some stuff like spinach, but she was not aware of what he looked like or any of his adventures or anything like that. He was more of a legend than an actual character like he was for us.
Maintain your hold status, please. Projected time is currently 7 hours reserve time.
7 hours? Dude, I don't got 7 hours. I barely have any time left on my lunch break right now. Anyway, I fear Popeye's gonna, like, disappear from the collective unconsciousness pretty soon, which isn't, like, it's not, like, a big deal. There's all these characters that, like, they disappear from time, like the Yellow Kid, I don't know. Dick Tracy is probably getting close to where he might disappear. There is a Dick Tracy comic out right now that is actually pretty fun. I plan on talking about that soon, but I fear for Popeye, man. I don't know if we're going to see some kind of a Popeye resurgence. He may be sadly on the way out.
I am sorry, A.B Silver isn't available. He's away from his office.
What do you mean he's away from his office? I've been holding here for minutes, dude. Where is he?
He is playing the back nine at Pebble Beach with his good friends Kid Rock and Sean Puffy Combs.
I've been holding here. How could he be off playing golf with Kid Rock and Sean Puffy Combs? Dude, I didn't call him. You guys wanted to talk to us.
Please try again later.
I don't know how I could have seen that turning out anyway, but that if I would have put some thought into it, I tried to stay positive in the face of all this stuff. But man, that guy A.B Silver, dude, he really tries my patience. Well, at least let's look at the bright side. We got to talk about the Cars. We got to talk about Popeye. That was something that's been in my mind for a while. I pray for Popeye. I hope that he doesn't disappear, but I don't see any big time Popeye projects on the way. Let's move into at the movies.
In a moment, at the movies without Ebert, Siskel, or even that Jude Roper, but you've got icy robots, so that's something, right?
died of a heroin overdose.
I don't think your son was a junkie.
He got mixed up with a gangster. Viking.
Gonna kill him. You know these guys.
Oh, jeez.
One guy can disappear. Two, who wants me dead?
3 of Viking's dealers have disappeared.
Threw him on the gorge.
Nice.
Aren't you gonna ask where I've been?
Cold Pursuit. Rated R. Only in theaters February 8th.
I went to see Cold Pursuit, Liam Neeson's latest action flick, with my uncle. My uncle likes these kind of sorta what you may call B action movies. You know, this isn't like, it's not like The Skyscraper with The Rock. This is a Liam Neeson revenge-driven thriller. He's had a lot of success in this genre. The second act to Liam Neeson's career has been amazing. I remember this dude when he was in arty farty movies, like I don't know, he was in all these kind of movies that we had over at the UA6 when I was working there. I used to work for United Artists as an usher, an occasional doorman, and we had mostly like the arty farty pictures at our theater. And Liam Neeson starred in a lot of these things, like Rob Roy McGregor. I recall seeing Liam Neeson on all the posters we had in the lobby, but then he kind of faded off for a bit, and then he came back with this whole second act of his career where he's a butt-kicking action star, and I enjoy it. He comes out with one of these a year. Last year, I think it was The Commuter. Maybe that was the year before. I don't recall exactly, but he comes out with one of these every year or so, and they're always fun. It's what has to be near 70-year-old Liam Neeson going out there and getting revenge for something that has been done to him. I was thinking how homie Liam Neeson was in Krull, and Krull was like, that was like so long ago that I was playing an Atari 2600 of it, and he was like a full-grown adult at that time. Dude is up there, but he does still look like he could kick a butt or two. He has what looks like giant fists. When he's punching on dudes, it looks like his punches could be effective because his hands, they just look like they're so big, like you're getting punched by something bigger than a softball. Dude he's a tall, rangy fella. In this one, the basic idea is that his son got mixed up in something and he ends up getting murdered by criminals. And Liam Neeson goes one at a time up the layers of the crime boss's organization until he gets to the top and he exacts his revenge. This is all given to you in the trailer. Don't feel like I'm giving you any spoilers. Could you imagine a movie in which that Liam Neeson's out for revenge and he doesn't get it? That would be such a disappointment. Like, he makes it all the way to the boss, the dude who kidnapped his daughter, but he doesn't get her. He gets killed. She gets killed. It's all sad. You'd feel awful leaving the cinema. And I think that what these movies are trying to convey to you is a feeling of like, even though I might be getting up there, I can still kick a little butt. This is probably what like Death Wish or those movies were like for our forefathers. They probably felt like when they would see Charles Bronson pull out the 45 and shoot some poor mugger to death, that they could still do it. If they were called upon to do it, they could still do it. That's what you're getting out of this movie. And if they didn't give it to you, that would leave you feeling rather impotent. You would not be getting what has been promised. I did like this. The movie has this, it's like a dark comic sort of tone to it. Liam Neeson is shown throwing one guy into the river and then another guy and then another guy, and each death is punctuated with a black screen showing the guy's name and a religious symbol for whatever denomination they belong to. The movie, I found out, is actually a remake of a Norwegian film called In Order of Disappearance. I think that's that's a good sum up of the movie. One guy disappears after another, after another, after another. In the plot, Liam Neeson is a guy who lives in Colorado. It's a ski town. There is so much snow, and homeboy drives a snowplow for the city. He has access to all kinds of like weird, cool machinery for destroying trees and moving snow and stuff. And he uses all of these for effect in the course of exacting his revenge. Let's see, who else is in this? His wife is played by Laura Dern, and Emmy Rossum is in it. Emmy Rossum is on Shameless. I don't watch Shameless. I see the commercials for it, and the I don't know, there's something about the tone of it. It doesn't appeal to me, but I remember her in that movie where she's with Jake Gyllenhaal and the earth freezes over or something. I like her. I don't know why she hasn't had more success as far as like her movie career. She's really pretty. She's a good actor. She seems nice and like down to earth. You know, she doesn't have that like unapproachability. She has kind of an everyman quality to her too. So she comes across pretty well as a cop in this Colorado town. I bought her. She's paired up with that dude who was, I think his name was the Colonel on Oz. Did you guys watch Oz? That was like eons ago in the days of HBO shows. I remember at one point they moved Oz. Oz is like this insane prison drama that used to be on HBO back in the day. They moved it from like a Sunday night to Wednesday night for some reason. So I remember staying up till like 1 a.m. on Wednesdays watching Oz, and then I had to get up and go to the video store or wherever I was working at the time. The show made me tired, but the dude who played the Colonel is her partner in that. I have no idea what his name is as an actor, and I probably should, because dude's been in everything. He was in Mystic River. Dude's been in like a million movies. Anyway, the two of them are policemen, and he likes the slow pace of this Colorado town, but Emmy Rossum is looking for a bit more action, so she gets really interested when like people start dying on a daily basis. Like there's people disappearing every single day in the town, and it's almost like there's a serial killer there. In a lot of ways in these movies, Liam Neeson is sort of a serial killer, but his motivation is revenge. So that makes it all right. Let's see what they say about Cold Pursuit over on Rotten Tomatoes. It's presently at 60% with the audience and 72% with the critics. That is probably what it would come out to if you laid out 10 people and you made them all go watch Cold Pursuit. I would think about 60%, 6 out of 10 would enjoy it. There'd be some fuddy-duddies or people who morally feel like watching murder after murder after murder. Maybe not the nicest way to spend your time. It runs for 118 minutes. It did play like a smudge too long. A movie like this should be like an hour and a half, hour 40. I don't know. Just get in, get the revenge, get out. I want to kind of veer off course here for a second. 2 out of 3 of the theaters in Santa Rosa have switched over to that recliner format, and I have been to it enough times now to say that I am not so sure that I'm into it. I myself did not mind the cavernous stadium seating with the normal movie seats. I kind of liked how they made you sit erect and watch the movie. And I feel that maintained a certain level of decorum. And while the theaters were, of course, occasionally wild, I think that now that we've switched over to a format where people are laying almost completely flat. It's like they've gone past the point even where they're in their living room. They're now almost completely flat. So it's like they are in their bedroom. I feel as if this may be going past a level of familiarity, maybe, that I am comfortable with. Also, to put in the recliner chairs, you have to get rid of a lot of seats. There are maybe like a third as many available seats in the theater as there used to be. So it is way more common to have to sit directly next to somebody. Sellouts are way more common than they used to be. And I am not the type that likes to necessarily sit with somebody directly next to me in a seat. I'll often, back in the day before the assigned seating, I would go like one seat in from the aisle, so nobody would take that one seat there, and then I would even like move back to that aisle seat. I prefer an aisle seat. I would make moves to try to see that people didn't sit on either side of me. I like my space, so it's weird to me that nowadays I'm almost always sitting next to somebody, and this somebody is almost always like laying flat, watching the movie like he's in his bedroom. And the theater serves a new array of foods. They have like a cafe. So homeboys are like eating fajitas. They're eating hamburgers. They're eating all kinds of weird foods, laying on their back, watching the movie next to me. I do recline like a little bit. I don't want to like get in a position where I am going to get a little drowsy. You know, I want to be erect. You know, I want to be sitting straight up so that I can focus on the movie. I'm there to watch the movie. I'm not there to take a nap, you know. Also, there is an upswing of people falling asleep in the movie since they got the recliners. And I feel as if this is only natural. You know, you're rocked back. A lot of times the theater's warm, especially during the winter. They kind of do jack the heat up, and you kind of catch some Z's. I myself didn't do that. I don't want to fall asleep in public. That'd be a little weird for me, but I don't know. I don't like the idea that we're all in one giant shared living room, or even maybe to some people like the back bedroom watching TV. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys prefer, the recliners and the added food. I like my movie experience like I like my pizza. You know, I'm a bit of a Spartan. I want to go in there. I usually don't even, maybe I'll get a drink. Maybe I won't even. I'll just sit there for the most part and watch the movie. Sometimes I'll sneak in an apple. I don't need all the zing to have a giant experience at the movie. The movie's zing enough for me. But let me know what you think about that. Hit me up on Twitter at ICRobots, or even better yet, go to the Facebook group. That's where things happen for the most part. That is facebook.com/ICRobots. So, on the good old-fashioned Source Magazine Mike meter, with 1 being a dud and 5 being an all-time classic, I am going to give Cold Pursuit a solid 3 mics.
3 mics.
Please drop by supportthereport.com and consider becoming a show patron for as low as a measly $1 a month. It's the right thing to do.
You made it this far. It's time. The final segment. The IC Robots Radio pop culture / toy news / other boring stuff informational moment.
All right, it is me, and we are back for what is the final segment of the program. Let's see what is What is afoot? I got a note card. Here. I've been writing stuff down just so I'll remember to talk about it. Let's start off with a text message that I got last week. This came in from our dude Stuntman Mike. Stuntman Mike is a show patron. The message that he sent, it just missed the wire. I had finished recording the program, and I thought about going back in, but the message was so great, and it asked some questions that have not been asked before that I thought I would just wait till next week and do it up right. Let me find where I have the printout for the text. Hold on one sec. Oh, here it is. It says, hello, Icy Robots. Hope this message finds you doing well at the underwater base. When will you be going back to the Jupiter moon base? I'm curious about what A.B Silver's new TV show might be, so I say invite him. Also, what does Emily look like? Last but not least, I always look forward to the show. You bring joy to my life each and every week with the best podcast in the world. This is from Stuntman Mike. Stuntman Mike, I definitely appreciate those kind words. My main goal with the show is to make everybody's week a little bit less weak, spread some joy in the world. So I'm happy to see that you're receiving that joy, that love that hopefully reaches up from the bottom of the sea all the way to the ground level. Let's start in with the order in which they were posted. When will you be able to go back to the Jupiter moon base? I do not have a definite date, but I do feel as if this is something that may be coming. I have heard that the construction is going well. They put out an email company newsletter where they go over some of the various Pooptronics assets, like the undersea base, like the desert base, like the base in the Colorado Rockies. They have these enclaves and strongholds all over the place, and they mentioned in the newsletter that the Jupiter moon base, which is of course the farthest of all the bases, this is like way the heck away from any sort of Pooptronic stuff, but they mentioned that construction is going along. They have some bids in. They are going to start looking at the bids and seeing which one comes in the lowest, but also maintains the safety standards that you expect in a Pooptronics product. So hopefully sometime in the future they'll build it. We'll apply to go back up there, and maybe we will eventually go back up there. I think our lives were a lot happier when we were there. It's cool to get to come down here, but it is mostly like being in a thick tin can surrounded by pressure. You wouldn't believe what the pressure feels like. It's you can just feel the water weighing on the walls when you're walking around. It's weird. There's also, of course, pressure in space, but it doesn't feel solid the way that having all these millions and millions of countless tons of water pressing in on you at all times. I do not know. Let's see. What was the second one? Oh, A.B Silver's TV show. Dude, I tried, man. You saw me at the beginning of the show. I thought we were going to get the scoop on the latest A.B Silver production. What we know so far is that it's going to be a new take on a popular TV genre. There's a lot of shows out there. I wonder if it's maybe like a Pawn Stars, where they people will bring stuff to A.B Silver and he'll rip you off. Maybe it's kind of like an American Pickers, and then they're going to go out there and take advantage of hillbillies and buy their stuff way too cheap. I don't know. What else could it possibly be? Like a soap opera? Maybe they're going to do a soap opera. I don't know if... I think there's only 1 or 2 soaps left on the air at this point, so I don't know if that's something they would get into. We'll hopefully find out. I imagine that we will find out. I'm going to try again, but next time I'm going to wait till dude's actually on the line before I go live on the air. Your next question, though, is one that I have always wondered why nobody has ever asked. This has never even come up once. What does Emily look like? That's That's an interesting question. Okay, I can see her from here. I'm over here. She's across the room on the computer helping me with the recording and stuff. She's not gonna like me saying this, but it is definitely true. She is sort of like a female C-3PO, except she has like a metallic pink tone to her where he is like metallic gold. She's metallic pink. She has a fin across the middle of her head. It's kind of a wavy fin, like a lizard person, sort of, I guess. I don't think she's gonna like hearing me say that, and she's waving her arms around right now, so I know that she doesn't like that. She is about 5'6" or so. She's a bit shorter than I am.
I am 5'8", and dude, you aren't that much taller than me. If I am wearing shoes and you are in your flip-flops, we are basically the same height.
Dude, the only way that we're even, remotely the same height is if you count the fin.
The fin counts.
I don't think the fin counts.
It totally counts.
Why do you think it counts?
It's attached to me.
Yeah, okay. I guess you got a point.
Listen, this is weird. Don't worry about what I look like. I look awesome.
Hey, man, that's cool that you think you look awesome. It's great to have self-esteem.
I'm the best.
All right, Emily, thanks for popping in. We got Mego figures and stuff to talk about.
Okay, bye.
That was fun. Always nice to have Emily on the air. Oh, she wears sunglasses, all the time. She has aviators. She wears these aviators, these red aviators, all the time. Indoor or out. Let me tell you a story about perception, I guess. How we perceive things versus the reality of what they are. There is this high school kid that I see all over the place. He's kind of like a bigger kid. He wears this pulled down baseball hat and like Eazy-E Loke sunglasses, and he's always wearing a hoodie and black jeans, and he rides around on his bike like super slow all through the neighborhood. He's just rolling, and from time to time I'll see this dude standing on a street corner, just looking at people go by. He looks like a straight G to me. This dude, if I thought there was somebody who was running the streets around my house, I would think that it was this G, right? So I see dude from time to time. I'll have to walk by him, and I don't sweat him or anything. I don't sweat high school kids, but I see this guy going by, and I give him a head nod, a friendly head nod, hoping that game recognize game, and he'll shoot me one back. But dude never does. His game does not recognize my game. I saw a dude the other day, and I walked by and I said, "What's up, G?" And he just he looked at me like nothing, and I'm just I must be a total mark. I must be just a Mizark, just a loser. And I was driving around in the the Icy Robots mobile, and I got 2.0, and I see the G that's running the Rincon Valley streets, and I point him out. I'm like, check that dude out, 2.0. That guy totally stunts on me every time I see him. She goes, oh, I know that kid. He goes to my school. I think that he's autistic. He just stands and he stares, and he doesn't really interact with people. People say hello to him, but he doesn't really interact. We just leave him to his own devices. And I go, seriously, I thought this guy was like a stone-faced gangster running the streets. And she goes, no, he's nice. He's just a little, he has some troubles. And I was thinking, that is so interesting. I thought the dude was the guy. I thought he was like Rincon Valley's Nino Brown. I thought that this guy was hard as a rock, stone-faced G, but it turns out it's not anything like that at all. So don't always believe your perceptions. You may want to dig in a little deeper. I just thought this was kind of a silly little story. We do not have a PSA, but we do have a new sponsor this week. Let's pop in the tape they sent us and hear what that's all about.
You've seen Duncan do some amazing things with his sword, but you've never seen anything like this. That's right. Inside this catalog, you'll find prices that have been chopped down to the bone on all your favorite Highlander merchandise. This includes videos, swords, jewelry, clothing, games, music, accessories, and much more. If you do, you'll also be eligible to receive a free collector's edition dagger or satin jacket.
Up until, like, right now, right this moment, I didn't know that I wanted a ceremonial Highlander dagger and a satin jacket, but I definitely do. If I could be wearing that over my Pooptronics jumpsuit, I would do it. Maybe that would be the extra flair that Iceberg was saying that I needed. So, keep your eyes peeled for that Highlander catalog. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, I bought another 80s TV. I was at the flea market this past Sunday, as I normally am, and I'm digging around in the stuff. There is this guy known as the Cowboy. I've mentioned this homie like numerous times. He is what would really be like what being in Storage Wars would be like. You know how like in Storage Wars they pull like a piece of garbage out and they go, well, that's $5. This is $5. This is $2, and they add it all up to get these extravagant totals. But you never see the part where they are dragging these boxes of garbage out to the flea market and doing the actual selling. Well, that's what this guy is. It's just like aisle and aisle and aisle of boxes of paper and garbage and stuff and whatever. Seriously. It's like the most random assortment of stuff. It's just stuff that people would leave behind in a storage locker. I have found a couple of TVs from this guy already. I'm on the vintage TV tip. I got one, but it's like I don't want to risk burning it out. It's a thing of beauty. So I got another one, and this is more of a 90s TV. It's a Hello Kitty one. I talked about it. It's pink. It has Hello Kitty graphics on the screen. It's really great, but we were digging around in dude's stuff, and I found a box. I found a sealed box with a TV in it, with an 80s off-brand. It's not an RCA, it's not a Sony. I forget what it is, like a Samco, something like that. Probably like South Korean TV, but it was sealed in the box, as good as could be. So I'm like, you can't pass this up. You have to own this. So I picked it up from dude. He only wanted $2 for it. The hard part was it weighed like 10,000 pounds, and I had to walk it all the way back to the IC Robots mobile. So that was like my CrossFit moment of the week, walking through the parking lot with a brand new Samco TV. But this thing it's a beauty. It has both UHF and VHF, and so it has the knobs. You know, you go while you turn the channels. It's so great. I have like a VCR hooked up to it, just so every once in a while I can pop it on and like watch something. I have a tape recording of the Cage, the Star Wars pilot on VHS, and it was neat. It's a version they did when they aired it on the Sci-Fi channels, and in between the commercial breaks, there's like an enhanced experience. You can hear like Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner talking about this and that. So it's pretty dope. I popped that in there, and I was just like doing my thing out there and watching that. It's a really great nostalgic feeling to watch something on an 80s TV. So I gotta give it up to this guy, the Cowboy. He's hooked me up like 3 times now. What else is going on around here? Oh, I got that Muhammad Ali Mego in the mail the other day. I actually have it right here, and I'm going to open it live on the air. It's going to be an audio unboxing. It's going to be brilliant. I've been looking forward to this figure for a while. I was lucky enough to actually get to meet the champ once at an autograph show. He was a super nice guy. So I've always had him at like a special place in my heart. But as I've grown older, I kind of have grown out of being interested in dudes who have like really brash antics. Like I can enjoy like a Money Mayweather or like a Conor McGregor on the surface level, but I used to kind of idolize guys that were super brash, and now I'm kind of more into like workman like dudes. I think that if I had a chance to go back in time and root for either him or Joe Frazier, I may have been a Joe Frazier guy. that doesn't mean I don't appreciate the greatest, because I definitely do. The dude's a legend. He's the best. What can I say? Let me pop this open. I have the Mego here. He's on a beautiful card that has a great picture of the champ, and his autograph is across the top. The figure's a nice likeness. Let me turn on this little desk light that I have set up here over by the it's hanging off the toilet paper, not the paper towel thing on the chum sink. Let me pop this open. I like to do it delicately as much as I can. I save the card at least for a little bit and kind of look at it, but I usually end up tossing them. What I wish they would do with these Mego cards is put little headshots of the different figures in the set, because then I could go through and collect them all and I would know who I was looking for. It's a little bit weird to me that the companies don't do this nowadays, because I would spend like a lot of time looking at the back of the G.I. Joe card and imagining what the figures were actually like, because you couldn't go online and look at pictures of them. You could just see the drawings on the card. So I'd spend a lot of time looking at those and imagining what it would be like. I'm just waving this Muhammad Ali around. I apologize. You can probably hear the rustling. Let's bring him out. He is inside of he has a tray inside the bubble. He is wearing a white robe with red accents. He's really neat looking. The sculpt of his head is pretty accurate to a young Cassius Clay. It says Muhammad Ali on the back of his jersey. He's wearing white and red trunks. He has white boots. They're probably the Action Jackson boots. Let me see. He has 2 gloves. They go on his hands fairly easy. I'm able to get that one on. Let me see if I can get the other one on. Yeah, that looks like it'll go. He also has a belt. His belt is it's kind of a strip of plastic, but it's neat. It proclaims him as the greatest, which is what we all call him, I guess. I don't know. Is Ali the greatest heavyweight of all time? He may be. It may be him. It may be Joe Louis. Joe Louis defended the belt 26 times. That's amazing. I don't know. Rocky Marciano retired as undefeated champ. There are so many great heavyweights out there, but Ali is definitely in anybody's conversation as the greatest there ever was. I really dig this figure, man. I like his robe. I like his little trunks. I like the boots, the gloves. The gloves are neat. He's going to have a New Japan Inoki style MMA fight against Action Jackson later in the afternoon. Action Jackson is going to bring his amazing Shotokan karate skills to the ring against the stand-up boxing of Muhammad Ali. Who would win in a fight, a karate fighter or a boxer? I think it always comes down to who's the better athlete. I think the better athlete usually pull it out, but let's say all things in that regard are equal. I guess it would all depend on which fighter was able to effectively use his range. If the boxer can keep it at the hand range, I think the fast, accurate punching of boxing would be at an advantage over the one punch, one kill of karate. But if the karate guy can keep it at a distance, use his feet to the face, feet to the legs, feet to the groin, I don't know. It could go either way. I'm going to go and probably say the boxer. I think boxers kind of practice boxing in a more realistic fashion than karatekas practice karate, but I know not. He's a great figure. I look forward to taking some pics of him rather. So I guess when I say them, I was meaning him and good old Action Jack. You know what would be neat? I saw a pic of an 8-inch Karate Kid action figure set that's coming out. You get Karate Kid and you get Johnny, but you also get the mat and something in the back to make it look like it's the All Valley Karate Tournament. I wish that I had that, and it would be the perfect setting for the Action Jack Muhammad Ali fight to determine who is the actual GOAT of all unarmed combat. Let's see what else is going on. Anything here in the note card? I bought a couple Blu-rays over at good old Joe Video. If you happen to be over on that side of town, please consider going into Joe Video. It is a nice blast of the past when you step through those doors. Also, dude has an amazing video collection. There's so many great things in there. They're like movies I've never even heard of. And I think I've heard of everything. I picked up a couple a couple used Blu-rays. If you buy 2, they are $16. I got a Bad Night at El Royale. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. We saw this at the theater, and I thought it was all right, but I wanted to see it again. We considered renting it, but I'm like, why not just buy it, you know? And I also got The Brawl for Cell Block 13. Is that what it is? I wrote down 2 words. I wrote down El Royale Brawl. This is a terrific prison movie with Vince Vaughn in it. I thought it was one of the best movies that came out, not last year, but the year before that. If you like hyper-violent prison flicks, which I happen to do, I love prison movies as a genre. But if you like that kind of thing, I highly recommend this one. Anything else worth mentioning? I don't know. Let's see. Black Monday on Showtime. This new half-hour comedy with Don Cheadle is terrific. It's set in the high finance world of the 80s. It's like an 80s Wall Street thing, but it's incredibly lewd. Incredibly lewd. There's crazy drug use and stuff, but it's hilariously funny, and they have a lot of like really great 80s set dressing and stuff. A whole episode was dedicated to this NES that this guy owned, and this other guy was trying to get it from him. It was pretty funny. I recommend this show. I think it's on Sundays. There are maybe 3 or 4 episodes in, and they're all pretty fun, but I gotta warn you, man, this is not family-friendly show in any way. It is incredibly lewd, but it's also incredibly funny. I think that we're gonna get up out of here. Here is the bad news to end the show. Me and the posse are gonna be going on a trip, bit of a family trip, so I shall be away from the bottom of the sea for the next week. So next week, we're going to have a classic blast from the past episode. It's going to be great. I'll try to find a good one that maybe you guys haven't heard in a while, but we will be back right after that. The next week, we'll be back. It'll be awesome. You should be happy for me that I get to enjoy a nice vacation with my family. But if you are the type of fella who up until now has declined to become a show patron over at supportthereport.com, or you can get a whole bunch of fun shows for as little as $1 a month, this is the perfect time because I won't be here next week. What you could do is toss $1 out there into supportthereport.com, and you can have access to all the patron-only shows. You can have access to the brand new audio handbook of the Marvel Universe. We just did one about Black Cat. There's one about Swarm. You can have access to that. I know you haven't heard those. You can have access to all the POS. That's the patron-only show. I got a new one of those. I'm just about finished. When I started the POS, I wanted it to be a kind of a more lo-fi version of this show, where I could just kind of shoot the breeze with the patrons. But man, it's becoming involved. I don't know how to make a show without a lot of bleeps and bloops. It's just a weakness of mine. I think right now, as we speak, the POS is the more fun show. You got the TRU, RPT, or the POS. I think the POS is more fun, and the only way you can get down with that is to go over to supportthereport.com, join up. It's as little as $1 a month. I would love it if you gave more. A lot of guys give $5. Some people give $10. It's great. You can make my life all that much more better by helping us out in that regard. I don't know. When I get a new patron, I feel very loved, and that's a nice thing. So I'm gonna get up out of here. So for me, Iceberg, A.B Silver's assistant Amy, for engineer Emily, for everybody all over the world. You don't know. Now you know.
This has been an IC Robots Radio production. IC Robots Radio is a listener-supported endeavor. If you like what we do and we make your day a little easier, please consider tossing a few bucks our way to help keep the life support running. All money collected goes to help us prepare for future space pirate attacks. Go on over to supportthereport.com for all the details. Thanks and have a great week.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
Portions of our broadcast day may be presented either in whole or in part by means of videotape or film reproduction. This is KTXL TV 40, signing off the air, ending another schedule of broadcasting. KTXL, Sacramento, Stockton, California.
I'm using a little chorizo.